In our culture and our food, it's full of vegetarian food because eating meat, it was a delicacy. It wasn't every day. And this is something a lot of people are confused about when it comes to the Middle Eastern cuisine, the Palestinian cuisine. They think it's full of meat, but it's actually stemmed from very simple dishes, which is made to utilize what's in the land and to improvise. Vegan food, we had it existed really long time ago, centuries, because we have something which called somi. Somi as a word come from fasting, and fasting come from the tradition, religious fasting of the Christian, where some of them, they become vegan for about 40 days. And many dishes in the Palestinian cuisine are somi. And actually, somi give us the birth of falafel. Falafel was created in the somi period because they want to create something with high protein, still fast and delicious in that period of fasting. So we are focusing on somi dishes to bring them again into the table and to recenter them as a culture, how we grew from these dishes. Either it is lentil soup or mjaddara or even the fool bzeit zatoun, the fava bean with olive oil. And my aim is to share it with my people, of course, but also to share it to the outside world and to show the variety of somi dishes, vegan, vegetarian dishes we have here in Palestine. It's really devastated to see traditional dishes and traditional heritage of our own being taken and stolen and rebranded by the colonizer in a different way. And when come to the hummus and falafel, when you are in the old city of Jerusalem, you can see a large postcard which is have the falafel with the Israeli flag. And this is totally robbing of the culture and reclaim it without the narrative history of the dish. And in a way, they are trying to replace Palestine with Israel. This is a type of a relationship that you deal with on a daily routine. How I can remain being Palestinian, how I can continue my heritage and culture when it is under attack. And the best way for me, I found through my passion, through my love for cooking, to talk about my heritage, to emphasize the Palestinian culture, to mention our dishes, recipe, and ancestor stories that have been created in this land. The only ways we can do it is by sticking to our roots and to our heritage. So when I take a dish, a Palestinian dish, and I talk about it, and I talk about the history of it, and I talk about the recipe of it, no matter what the political agenda they're trying to delete from history, just with talking about food and a dish can really reflect the depth of the Palestinian society and the history of the Palestinian in this land, just through musakhan dish, for example, you know, where you talk about the shrak bread or the tabboune bread, the sumak, you know, all this is a very Palestinian ingredient, and they will continue to be Palestinian. They are trying to claim it as Israeli product. If you go eat hummus in the old city of Jerusalem and you go eat hummus on the Israeli side, you will realize the difference. of someone taking and trying to replicate the real version of this dish, while you have generation making it from a father to children. You can, through your first bite, you can taste all this history that's coming with this dish. So for sacred cuisine, it is important that whatever I operate from sacred cuisine have to come with the ethics. I have to spend more time, more money to be able to find the baladi, to get it from the Palestinian. And this is sometimes mean I need to buy my producer from the West Bank, like Ramallah, or make connection with the farmer and make a phone call to let them know that on this day I want this amount. And it is more a preparation and more effort. But of course it is very important, because as a sacred cuisine, I'm interested in selling Palestinian ingredient, Palestinian food, and talk about my heritage. But even though I still find it challenging, and I cannot get to 100% Palestinian ingredient just because of all the logistic, but this won't stop us. We are in a continuous effort on making connection with new farmers. If we know about any type of farming, especially natural, organic, I take the time to go meet the farmer and talk to them and establish a connection. So this way we know from where we are getting our produce. In Palestine, to apply farm to table concept, it does not come easy. It takes a lot of courage. It takes even life risk, and this is show how far deep the Israeli politic is thinking, because it's not about just taking the land. They already took the land from us. It is about even make us in our own land not being self-efficient and needing the Israeli to be able to survive. So this is why, as a Palestinian, the last occupation which we think about, and the more important occupation we think about, is the occupation of the mind. And this is how you see Palestinian, they will be in a handcuff, going to jail, and they will still give you the sign of freedom, because what they're trying to indicate, yeah, they can take my land, they can take me, they can put me in a prison, but here I won't allow my mind to be the prison. And this is the resilience that Israeli are frustrated with, and they cannot figure out how to deal with Palestinian. So they are using their maximum power, they are using their maximum punishment. So they're trying to teach us, like, give up on being Palestinian. And we are saying, I can't. Simply, we can't. It's in our blood, it's in our ancestor, it's the history, the heritage. It's come with every msakhan dish I eat, it's come with every hwerne I eat, with every dawali. And this is how we continue to be Palestinian, is by going between all these checkpoints, between all these walls, between all these rules, and still go to where we are originally from, and to connect with our roots, even by smelling mamiyeh, or by eating a traditional recipe from our grandmother, which is Palestinian recipe.